Actually, you don't have to look too hard, because if you want to know, just ask, and she'll tell you everything in great detail with no filter. So Terry, do you want to come on up? We'll grab that microphone here for you.
Well, I'm Terry Toronto. I work at Edmonton, Maine at the counter. I do cafeteria work, I pick orders. I can't sing like Crystal Garvin. I can't dance like Tyler James. Or sing like Arthur Catay. Hey-o. Sorry, Arthur. But I do have some of the funnies that I've collected over the year. I usually just write everything down as I'm working, and I stick it in my pouch, and then I put it all together at the end of the year, which was like a week ago. I had a thing at the counter I wrote down. It was kind of funny to me at the time, so I thought I'd share. Hopefully I don't offend people, because sometimes I can be offensive. I don't have a filter. So I had this guy at the counter. He came up and he had to pick up an order for, I forget which company. He got the order, I got his driver's license, and I looked over at it, and my glasses are kind of concaved a little bit, so I read Duane, D-U-A-N-E. And then I looked again and it went, oh, Diane, well, that's interesting. And she goes, that's because my name is Diane. It was an honest mistake. I felt so embarrassed. Which brings me to Pink Shirt Day. Like, we love everybody. You can still like to poke fun at people, and you still can, as long as you say, just kidding, at the end of it. I'm usually a nice person. I'm the nicest person you'll ever meet, unless I'm playing cards against you, or maybe driving. I'm kind of cutthroat. Like, for instance, this happened this summer. I'm driving, didn't let somebody in front of me because there's lots of room behind me, and if there's lots of room behind me, why not just, I'm fast enough, come on. So anyway, this guy's like riding right on my butt, and I'm thinking, you little brat, you're like driving longer than you've been alive, and here you are, like being so aggressive. So he gets up beside me, and he's keeping time with me. We're on River Valley Road, or Groat Road, actually. And then River Valley Road, he's behind me. And then we got up to 98, and he's pulling up beside me, and I'm not looking over, but finally I had to. And he's like, roll your window down. And I'm like, no. Like being all, So he said, roll your window down. So I did, and he goes, you got a flat tire. I gotta learn to be a little nicer. I was a mean one on the road that time. So speaking of driving, I drove a little tiny Toyota Tercel for about a year, and that sucker was so low to the ground and so hard to get out of because I was used to driving a truck. Anyway, I was bunking my head all the time. I was thinking to myself, how does Gary Gregg do it? He has all those little Lamborghinis and little Porsches and little sports cars. Does he crawl in? Does he roll out? Does he bump his head? I never asked him about that. You remember COVID is when we all learned you don't touch your face, you don't lick your fingers, and we gotta turn the pages in the catalog, you gotta grab those shiny flyers that stick together. We've all had to figure that one out. Why don't we just have a designated finger licker? Someone that stands by the order desk and just get in line. Somebody with a really good immune system. Okay, so topic change. There was a death in one of the corn mazes this fall outside of the city. It took the ambulance 5 minutes to get there, but half an hour to find the body. A couple years ago, I wore this dress before. This is my rerun dress. The guys have it so lucky. They can wear pretty much anything as long as it's a button-up shirt and a pair of pants, but I bought 18, well, I've been performing, so I buy 2 dresses some winters. So I buy 18 dresses at least. I've been here 18 years. So I'm wearing the same dress. But this one's kind of tricky. You can't wear a bra with it. So I got the stick-ons. You gotta keep them in place where they're supposed to be. But I'm like one hot flash away from them sliding down. Can you imagine? Is that too much information? That's got to be my new 3-letter code, TMI. So I got a story about this new landlady I've got. It's such an awesome place. The best place I've rented. It's really good. Her name is Karen. She lives up to her name, Karen. The first thing she said was, "Oh, I'd like to remind you to turn off the front light when you leave the house, or maybe when you go to bed at night. Like that light keeps you from being raped or someone breaking in. I like the light on for my security." So that was the first thing. The second, it was October when I moved in there, and she was raking leaves up every day. She got like 60 bags of leaves. I saw her on her hands and knees with little tweezer tools picking up leaves one at a time. I was thinking, oh no, what did I get myself into? I signed a lease. Anyway, yeah, then the snow fell, and apparently I don't shovel the walk all the way to the edges. Can you please shovel all the way to the edges? It could melt and go down to the center and cause a slipping hazard. And just the other day, my steps weren't swept off enough. And I said, I try really hard. I'm not going to meet your expectations every single time. I'll take care of the ice if the ice happens. Anyway, that's my new life anyway. I can't read my writing. So anyway, in the cafeteria, we serve a Brazilian beef stroganoff. It was hairless. There was not a single hair in that meal. Normally people don't complain when we cook. We actually are pretty lucky that way. Except there's one person that's quite vocal if we run out of something. Karen. Sorry, Karen. I had to say that. We need to focus and have lots of strength when you work at Greg's. And you're going to have a bad day, like I did, when I put a ranch dressing in the Keurig machine. I was craving for salad all day. Thanks to my Uncle Bob for that one. He gave me that one. I do have a strengthening training you can do with potato bags. You take a 5-pound potato bag and you hold them out straight, and then you just let it go. And then you can do that repetitions over a few weeks. And then maybe move on to a 10-pound potato bag and hold them up and hold as long as you can. And then go up to a 20-pound potato bag and keep on doing that. Maybe even a 50-pound potato bag. You're gonna get stronger. You can do a good job. And then maybe you can put a potato in your bag. I'd like to do something that I created. I think I should be chosen for this job. I have a Meet the Team that I've written. It's time for Meet the Team. So Gary Gregg's been with the company for 56, 57 years. Gary Gregg is not an ass. Wait, I think I'm supposed to rhyme. Gary Gregg is such a good egg. He keeps us in line and the structure is so fine. To get results, he doesn't need to beg. This guy is so tough, no cracks in his shell, partly why BIG runs so well. He's got tricks up his sleeve, and that's just no joke. When times are tough, he just hardens his yoke. He encourages us to fight when foreign investors encroach. We push the C card and win, and imposters are poached. Gary's polka dot princess is his protege. She will keep Greg's running classy, just like a Fabergé. We love Gary.
Thank you, Terry. All right, Terry Parental, group number 2, performance number 2. Next up on our list, we have got what we call the Excellent Achievement Awards. So every year, the great associate partner